Welcome. It is great to see so many familiar faces back on campus. My name is Ryan Pryor. I am the husband of Caroline Smith Pryor, the president of the Alumni Board. And other than that, I have no reason to be up here, other than I agreed to do it. I will say this as a start. We all know, being in the 24-hour news cycle, that the world is full of really, really negative things. And whenever we have something positive to look at, to be excited about, we have to seize it. And that includes things like this, but personally, it's also that after 15 years, I can still wear my senior blazer. So, just, when it all seems dark, there's always positives in the world. Whether you made a short trip or traveled a long distance, we are grateful to have you here to celebrate Webb and others with us. This gathering is one that highlights so much of what makes Webb a special place. It gives us a chance to reconnect, to reflect, to celebrate the shared experience that ties every Webb alum together. No matter when you graduated, there is something special about coming back to this place and the people who made it meaningful. Before we continue, we would like to take a moment to remember those in the Webb community who we have lost since last April. Their names are listed on your program. Please let us have a moment of silence in honor of those individuals. Thank you. Weekends like this remind us that Webb is not just where we studied. It is a community that stays with us. Thank you for being a part of it and for being here today. Now, it is my pleasure and honor to introduce our head of school, Dr. Polly Parker.
Good morning, everyone. It's very nice to see you all, and I'm very happy that you have joined us today. I'm really honored that you came for this special weekend, and I hope that I'm able to meet many of you today. I know I met some of you last night, but I do hope that I can chat with some of you this day, throughout the day, and everything that you take part in today as well. But before I talk to you a little bit about what's happening at Webb, I wanted to thank a few people. So I want to thank the Alumni Board for their leadership and support. So thank you very much for everything that you do. It's a lot of work. I want to thank the Alumni and Development team for their hard work in planning and coordinating this weekend for everyone, so that you can come and gather together and have a nice time. And then I'm really also especially proud for this year's honorees, Webb Fallon from the class of 1973 and Martin Brand from the class of 1992, whose accomplishments and service reflect the values of Webb. So reunion is a great time to get together. It's a great time to get together to reflect on your memories, hear and share your stories, and meet your teachers, the past teachers that are here. Thank you for coming back, because it is you who they come to see. All the memories that you've shared with them and all the good times, so thank you for coming. We're really pleased to see people return. So take every moment that you have over the next day to laugh and smile and remember all the good things that happened here at Webb. So today I'm going to just share a few things that are going on at Webb. So as I reflect, I've been here 9 months. So in my 9 months, I remain deeply engaged in the learning of the rich traditions. So I really want to learn about the school, and I have been. I've really been spending time understanding the traditions and the culture, the enduring history, the meaningful sense of community that shaped this institution. At the same time, we're thoughtfully and intentionally looking ahead, building the strong foundation as we envision Webb's future. We remain true to the Honor Code and the Honor Council. We continue the long-standing traditions that many of you shared here. The chapel, we continue to teach our students the history of Webb and the teachings of Sonny Webb. Committed to guiding and nurturing students forward to become amazing human beings in the world. We've recently added a lot of high-level courses to our academic program. We've added 4 signature programs to our program as well, which means we've added classes for next year for students above and beyond the college preparatory program. If they want to take part in something and graduate with another distinction on their diploma, they can. And we did this because we're trying really to be outstanding in terms of the college process, and it's highly competitive nowadays. And so we were thinking, we already know we're a great school, but then how do we make our students stand out even further? And so we've added these signature programs above and beyond the regular college program that they have here. And those are leadership. So we have a program you can join in 9th or 10th grade. You have to stay in them the whole time. And the idea is you're building your portfolio that will then be part of this competitive college program. So we're doing that. We have leadership. We have health and human performance. We have computer science and interactive media. Of course, we have the WILD program, which is our outdoor education. And then we have the Tennessee Flight School. So we've connected with the Tennessee Flight School so you can actually get your pilot's license while you're a student at Webb. So we really are excited about these new programs that we can offer to students if they choose to be a part of that. These programs balance tradition with innovation. We've redesigned our class schedule for next year to be in line with the most current brain research. So we know from brain research that some students don't wake up in the morning. They do show up, but they're not awake. That might be of some of you, I don't know. And some students start to fall asleep right after lunch. And so no matter what class they're in, they're not listening. And some at the end of the day, they're barely making it to the end of the day. So a lot of the research tells us that you have to have a cascading schedule so that changes. You never have the same class at the same time in a 7-day period, in a 7-day schedule. And so we're doing this next year because we want to recognize that every student learns differently and we want to optimize how they learn. So we're adding that to really think about how our students learn and make sure that we're giving the best possible program that we can. We're listening to student voices in terms of the campus projects, ideas that they have, hearing what matters to them, because we're really striving to have a student-centered experience here. And I think we've really started that already this year. We're exclusively working with Blue Ivy College Counseling and Coaching. It's exclusive because they can only work with us, the Webb School in the state of Tennessee. They can't work with any other private or public school. And they provide individual college coaching for our students and their families from 9th grade to 12th all the way through college acceptance, so that we're really significantly customizing it for every single student so they can get what they exactly want and need and where they want to go. This is really a fabulous program for them. We're continuing to organically grow our athletic program. We're growing and are performing in our fine arts to create this rich environment for them and opportunities for our students. We are intentionally working with students on ethical use and misuse of AI through digital literacy. And during these months, I've spent a lot of time listening and learning alongside our students, alumni, faculty, and community members. Been an active participant in the residential program to learn about what boarding at Webb means today. I have an open door policy in my office for students, which means they walk in at any time. They set up appointments with me. I get emails 24 hours a day with all kinds of requests, and that's okay. I respond to all of them because otherwise I will not know who they are, what they need, what they want, all kinds. I get complaints. I get a lot of complaints. But I also get a lot of I did really well on a Spanish test today, or could you find me tomorrow? I need to talk to you about something. And I think this is really important because I want to know, if you don't know who your students are, you don't know what's happening at your school. So I spend a lot of time on that. And I'm very fortunate this year, in my first year, to have approximately 50 kids a day are coming through my office, which I am grateful for because I really am getting to know a lot of students. And I'm really hearing lots of stuff. I know what's going on because they're in there sharing all kinds of things with me. That's been really nice. So together we move forward with purpose and optimism, but we're grounded in Webb's deep roots in academics, excellence, and long-standing traditions while thoughtfully embracing opportunities and emerging technologies in front of us. We have to do that. And as we look ahead, we remain committed to preparing students not only for the world as it exists today, but for careers and challenges that are yet to be defined. The efforts are guided by our shared belief that enduring value of the Webb education, one that honors history while involving and evolving with attention. Central to this work is the student voice. And so our students, we want them to both feel heard, we want them to be heard, and we want to take into consideration all the things that they are bringing to us. And that is a different philosophy than a lot of people have, but I truly believe that we need to be listening to our students. They need to be involved in the decisions that we're making, and we need to hear them. And so that's starting to happen already. And if you have time today, on the end of Chambliss, and I've heard a lot of rumors about Chambliss with some of you, and it's not open right now for a dorm, but at the end of Chambliss, the students created a cafe this year. So one of the things that they did with their student voice and student projects is they used the design thinking model, and they created something that they thought they needed on campus, a space to gather, a space to buy a snack or a coffee or a tea, to be open at night, to do a poetry class, or do whatever they want in the evening time as well. And the Parents Association was grateful. We were so grateful to them because they raised money this year to help us make that come to life. It's almost done. I was really hoping it was going to be done for this weekend, but it's not quite there. So if you peek in the windows, and you'll see that this is going to be a wonderful space. They created it, they designed everything that's in it. They picked out the furniture, they've decided what we're selling, and it will open on May 1st. And so we're very happy about that. But that's about student voice. They said, this is something we need, and then we make that happen. And we'll continue to do that 1 or 2 projects a year. So as we continue this work, philanthropy plays an important part of this in our success. And your support allows the honor of 156 years of history and legacy to position the school for a strong, sustainable future. And I invite you to consider giving a gift, and as generous as it possibly can be to the school, because this is what helps us. And I'm sure you know that 75% of every money that we take in for tuition, that's about what we have, and then 25% we have to cover with fundraising. And we do appreciate everything that everybody's given us, and we encourage you to give if you can, and as generously as you can to help support us as we move forward. I also have a really special announcement to make today. So I'm really honored to share with you today, and this is the first time we're saying it out loud, that Tracy Huddleston and George Huddleston III, along with their family and friends, have committed to an endowed Dean of Faculty position here at Webb in memory of George Huddleston Jr. from the class of 1976. This is especially meaningful today as we celebrate the 50th reunion of this special class, and some of his classmates are here as well. So a little bit about George. So George B. Huddleston Jr., class of 76, he's a parent of an 04, 07, and 13. He was a member of the class of 76 and a former member of the Board of Trustees with deep family connections to Webb. 4th generation Webb alumnus, son of George Huddleston, class of 50, and Kib Huddleston, brother to Webb graduates Mary, Elizabeth, and Henry, father to 3 Webb alumni, George III, Anna, and Zach. He logged nearly 4,000 flight hours and earned his pilot's license at Webb as a student before he could drive. So he would be really excited about this signature program. Because we have students as young as middle school that are saying, am I old enough to join the Tennessee flight program? And the rule is if your feet can hit the pedals, you can join. And it's kind of as you go, so you could do it in 2 years, 4 years, it doesn't matter. So you really have the opportunity to do that as a signature program here. So I think you'd be happy about that. He dedicated 35 years of his family business, Huddleston Oil Company, and following his graduation at Vanderbilt University in 1980, and he volunteered as an Angel for Angel Flights, providing medical transport across Tennessee. We are so grateful to the Huddleston family for choosing to honor George through this endowed deanship at Webb, a place that he loved and a community that loved him back. So thank you to the Huddleston family. They can't be here today, but she asked me to please, let everyone know that they're very excited to be a part of this. So thank you again for being here. I hope that I will be able to meet each of you. If I haven't already, please, I will be around all day and I'll come to the different activities that are happening. Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being with your friends, and enjoy your day. Have a wonderful day here. I'm going to invite Caroline Smith-Pryor back up to share an update from the Alumni Board. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome home. There is something very strange about returning to Webb as an adult. You can spend most of your year feeling like a fully functioning professional, and then you step onto this campus, and suddenly you are emotionally transported back to being 16 years old, late for class, underprepared for a test, cutting it a little too close to breaking the premise pledge. And yet somehow coming back here feels like no time has passed at all. And that's what Reunion reminds us of. This place has a remarkable ability to connect people across years, decades, and generations. And the numbers behind our alumni community are actually pretty extraordinary. Today, Webb has 3,451 living alumni, including both graduates and former students, About 72% are graduates, while nearly 30% are former students who still consider Webb part of their story, which I think speaks to how meaningful this place can be, even if somebody's time here was shorter than they planned. Our alumni live across 6 continents, 50 countries, 49 states, and 2 US territories. Nearly 44% still live in Tennessee, but Webb alumni are truly everywhere, and in fact, Hawaii is the only state we haven't managed to conquer yet. So if anybody feels called to make that sacrifice for the good of the institution, we support you. Our largest international alumni communities are in China, South Korea, and Germany, and more than 11% of our alumni live outside the United States. Our oldest alumni are all 18, and our oldest alum is 99. And that means nearly an entire century of Webb stories is represented within the alumni community. And those numbers are impressive, but what makes them meaningful is what happens between the people inside that network. And I learned that firsthand. After graduate school, Ryan and I moved to Memphis, and I was looking for a way to break into nonprofit work. And like many young professionals, I was applying for jobs and taking meetings and networking with whoever I could run across in that career field. I'm trying to keep myself occupied with some freelance translation work on the side so I didn't get too bored. And then one day, my mother, Madame Maura Judith Smith, was talking to Lee Woosley, class of 1978, and mentioned that I was in Memphis trying to build a career in nonprofits. And he said, "Oh, you need to talk to Buck Matthews. His wife runs a nonprofit." And Buck, another Webb alum, was living in Memphis, and my mom called me and said, "Hey, I could be expecting his wife to reach out." And before I could say, "I'm sorry, I don't know who is this, and also what is this organization," I had a voicemail from the CEO of Delta Health Alliance asking me to come in for an interview. And 8 years later, I am still there, having grown that into a career that I love. And what I've always loved about that story is that it wasn't somebody helping a classmate that they already knew. It was alumni from different generations, people separated by decades, who saw another Webb alum and decided to help. And that's the kind of community that we're all a part of. And that idea isn't new. In 1920, what was then called the Association of Alumni and Former Students was founded with a mission to preserve Webb's traditions, strengthen relationships between alumni and the school, and ensure Webb's future remained strong. And at the time, Webb was still privately owned, and that alumni association actually became the school's first board of trustees. And over the last 100 years, that mission has evolved, but at its core, it's still about connection. Today, the Alumni Board serves as a working board that helps strengthen alumni engagement with the school. We help organize reunion, support class agents, welcome graduating seniors into the alumni community, help with traditions like Senior Blazer Day and Senior Luncheon, recognize outstanding alumni through our awards process, and serve as ambassadors for Webb throughout the year. And most importantly, we try to make sure that alumni stay connected, not just to the school, but to each other. And if you've ever thought that you'd love to get more involved, but you're not sure what that looks like, please reach out to us. We need alumni from different generations, different professions, different backgrounds, and different experiences. The strength of this community depends on people continuing to raise their hands and say, "I want to help," and take a hand in the game. Because at the end of the day, Webb's greatest asset has never been its buildings, its rankings, or even the traditions that we hold very dear. It's the people sitting in this room. It's the people who open doors for each other. It's the people who come back. It's the people who choose to stay invested in Webb long after graduation. Thank you for being here, and welcome home. So now we're going to introduce the Hardin Service Award and Notable Alumni Awards. The purpose of the John B. Hardin Service Award is to recognize and honor those alumni and members of the community who have consistently contributed an exceptional amount of time and talent to Webb, and whose efforts benefit students, enhance campus life, and reaffirm the commitment of the Webb community to the school. This year's recipient is Webb Fallen, class of 1973, of Nashville, Tennessee. Webb comes from a family whose history is closely tied to the leadership and legacy of the school, with a multi-generational presence on campus. His grandfather, also Webb Fallen, was a student of the founder, Sonny Webb, and later served as principal and a longtime trustee. Grace Fallen Dining Hall is named in honor of his grandmother. Webb has enjoyed a successful business career, including founding Mountain Valley Spring Water Nashville and working extensively in real estate brokerage and investment. A dedicated member of the Webb community, he is a former president of the Alumni Board, those were big shoes to fill, and a past member of the Board of Trustees. We are proud to recognize his enduring commitment to supporting the school and its students. Webb, please come up.
Good morning. Thank you, Caroline, for your introductory. It's always special to be back on the Webb School campus. I always love coming here. Special thank you to Jonathan and Dr. Parker for putting this event together. Jonathan and his team do an outstanding job every year of hosting us for this event. I had the pleasure of knowing John Harden. He was the ultimate Webb School servant. He was a man of high honor, integrity, and character. And he was always thinking of small and quiet ways that he could serve our school. He was magic in motion, and he wanted no credit whatsoever, saying on several occasions, I just want to serve the school that I so dearly love, and he did. Throughout the history of our school, there have been several families that have enjoyed long, multi-generational association with this school. I happen to be the lucky member of one of those families. My family has enjoyed a relationship with this school for over 125 years. My grandfather, Gerald Webb Fallen Sr., who was mentioned just a minute ago, he's the man whose name is on the administration building. He was from Bryan, Texas, and his dad knew Sonny and decided he would send my grandfather here as a freshman. So he put him on the train and sent him up here, and he arrived here in 1904. He graduated in 1908, he went to Vanderbilt, and he went to law school. And by then it's about 1915, and he goes back to Texas to begin practicing law. But he only practices for 3 or 4 years and decides, this is not what I want to do. And the reason was because there's too many people who won't do what they say they're going to do. So he writes Sonny a letter and tells him this, and tells him that he wants to come back to Bell Buckle and go to work at this school, because he knew that Sonny was a man of his word. So Sonny says, well, come on. So he comes back. Now it's about 1919. And he gets here, and he goes to work, and he teaches English, Latin, Greek, noli res sub dele facere, and to always honor your word. Interesting, his house stood about where the administration building is today. And when the board made the decision in 1965 to build the administration building, the house had to go. So it was either tear it down or move it. And they picked it up and they moved it down to Maple Street and set it up on a lot down there that the school owned. He rose to assistant head and eventually head of school, where he retired after some 40 years of service to this school in 1960. My father was born in 1921 in that house. And he was raised on this campus, graduated in 1938. And he went to Vanderbilt also. And shortly after he graduated, World War II had broken out. So he joins the Navy and is assigned to a destroyer, which back then was not a big ship. And in one of the battles they were in over in the Western Pacific, the ship is hit. And several of his sailors, fellow shipmates, were killed. But they managed to stop the flooding by closing off that portion of the ship that was hit by the torpedo. And there was an island nearby named Guadalcanal. LR, you listening? And the United States Navy was operating a port there, and they were managed to make it to that port for repairs. Well, while he's there, other ships are there, and here comes another ship into the port, And on that ship is a man named Lane Abernathy, who was one of Dad's classmates here at Webb School. So Lane sees the USS Jandro, that's the name of Dad's ship, in port, and goes to his commanding officer and asks him if he'll communicate with the Jandro to see if Dad is on that ship. And in fact, he was, and they both requested permission to go ashore, and they got together in Guadalcanal in the middle of World War II. So in 1991, Dad soon began his business career. When the war was over, he came back to Bell Buckle, and he came here to that house again because he needed to recover emotionally from the sounds of the war. And he sought the goodness and wholesomeness of this school, and he wanted the quiet serenity of Bell Buckle. After a while, he moved to Nashville and began his business career, and he joined the Board of Trustees. In 1991, Dad got sick, and we knew that it was terminal. And so my sisters and I wanted to honor Dad. So we went to him and said, we want to start a chair at Webb School in your honor. And at first he was a little hesitant, but he soon endorsed our plan. So we asked him, which discipline would you like for the chair to be? And Dad loved history and English, both. But he selected English because he knew the importance of Webb students learning to be effective and clear communicators. So my sisters and I went to work raising the money, and eventually raised the money and gave it to the school to be placed in the endowment. Some of you may recall a man named Jim McDonald. And Jim is from Boulevard, Tennessee. And he graduated here in 1943. And he only went to college 2 semesters before he too joined the board. Joined the Navy. And after the war was over, he came back and he went to Yale undergraduate, Yale Law School, and then came back to Memphis to begin a distinguishing career practicing law. And he joined our board and served for 30 years. And most interesting, he was chair of our board from 1968 to 1989, I think. And it was during that period of time that one of the most important decisions in the history of this school was made. The board at that time saw the rising cost of private schools in this country, and that we could no longer make ends meet budgetarily with tuition alone. So they made the decision to start the annual fund and the endowment, terms of which everybody in this room is very familiar with. Those schools did not embrace the new model of the day, no longer in business today. But this board, chaired by Jim McDonald, he was the guy who was pushing this. It saved our school. And so Mr. McDonald, about 10 years ago, I attended a reception in Bond Library honoring Mr. McDonald and for his establishment of the McDonald Fallen Scholarship. Now, Mr. McDonald could have gone anywhere in this country and started a scholarship, but he chose Webb School because he said this is where it all began for him. While he was here, he learned to love to learn. He learned the value of honor, integrity, character, honoring your word, and never doing anything on the sly. My father used to tell me as a young person that when a youngster begins to find their way, when they begin to get their confidence, when they begin to get their feet under them, to watch out, because that young person is going to start doing amazing things. And here at Webb School, how do we accomplish that? We accomplish it through our rigorous academics, through our arts, through our competitive sports programs, and through the other programs that Dr. Parker mentioned. Educating our youth today has never been more important than it is right now. Our country, our world badly needs great thinkers regardless of field. We need great thinkers who can clearly and effectively communicate with one another. I had a tremendous experience here. I arrived as a homesick boy in the fall of 1969 in the 9th grade, and I graduated a proud young man, a confident young man. I am so proud to be a Webb School graduate. I love it when I'm asked where I went to high school. I cherish the lifelong bonds I formed with my classmates. I believe in this school and the good work the school continues to do. As Mr. McDonald said, I can never repay everything that this school has done for me. Even though I have long graduated, the school never stops teaching its students. I learn something every single time I come here. Continuing my family's legacy of service to our school, that matters to me. Whether that's through employment, which is what my grandfather did, or through volunteering, as my father did and I did. It's important. It has been said that I have attended a lot of athletic events for Webb School. And that's true, I have. But there are some reasons that I'd like to share with you as to why. While it's certainly fun to watch the students compete, there are 3 reasons I like to go. 1, I get to see a lot of other campuses of other schools and see what they look like and get a feel for the culture of those schools. 2, I get to interact with the families, the parents, and even the students that play. I get to develop a relationship with them. And I also get to see, are our students learning the life lessons that can be learned? The lessons I learned in this gym right here. Are they learning those lessons that are available for them to learn by playing all these various games that they like to play? It is especially gratifying to me that when a parent comes up to me and says to me, "Thank you for supporting my child." That's very powerful. But when one of the students, one of the players comes up to me and says, "Thank you for supporting me, it's helped me," that gets to me every time, sort of like it does now. So let me ask you to do one thing in closing here. Find something at Webb School that truly resonates with you, just you. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. Find something here and reach out and touch that spot on this campus in a positive and meaningful way. It matters so much. Our young people need to know that we care about them and we are proud of them, of the work that they're doing here at Webb School. Serving Webb School is a blessing. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Congratulations, Webb, on this recognition. Truly, Webb is Mr. Webb, our biggest fan. Next, we're excited to honor our 2026 inductee into the Distinguished Alumni Society. The Distinguished Alumni Society recognizes and honors those alumni who demonstrate outstanding leadership beyond the Webb School community. Membership in the Distinguished Alumni Society is awarded by the Alumni Board and the Board of Trustees. Members of the Distinguished Alumni Society include Webb alumni who, through personal commitment, work ethic, and service, have achieved significant success in their professional careers and have made outstanding contributions to their communities, demonstrating Sawney's vision of bringing honor to themselves and the Webb School. This year's inductee is Martin Brand from Webb's class of 1992. Martin is head of Blackstone Capital Partners and has built a distinguished career in global finance, working across leading firms and serving in senior investment and board roles around the world. He currently leads one of the world's premier private equity platforms and has been involved in a wide range of investments across industries and geographies. He earned his undergraduate degree from Oxford University and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Raised in Germany, he has often credited his upbringing with shaping his perspective and work ethic, emphasizing the importance of education, curiosity, and perseverance, values that have guided him throughout his career. While Martin is unable to join us in person this weekend, I believe he got back from London just this morning, we are pleased to share a video message on his behalf.
Hello, my name is Martin Brand, and I'm excited to be accepting the Webb School Distinguished Alumni Award. I'm sorry I cannot be there with you in person today. I would have loved to come. I love Webb. I'm so nostalgic about the place. It changed my life. Unfortunately, this week I'll have to be in London, and flying over from London to Bell Buckle is just a trip too far, so I'll have to do this via video. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I went to Webb as an exchange student, and it was a big adventure for me. I was 16 years old. I applied through a program called Assist, and I actually got a letter from Assist saying you're lucky, you're going to the Webb School in Bell Buckle, Tennessee. Unfortunately, I had no idea where that was. I thought, no problem. I go to the big bookstore in Düsseldorf. I'm sure they'll find it there. It was pre-internet. I looked at the Times Atlas of the World, 5 volumes, probably 800 pages, 70 pages of index. Bell Buckle was not there. I ultimately figured it out. Lufthansa actually was able to locate it. It was pre-internet on their computer. And then my adventure started. I flew over, didn't know anybody in Tennessee. I was welcomed by Imre Lagler, of all people. At least there was a European connection. I'm sure most of the alumni in the audience remember Mr. Lagler. He showed me around Tennessee for a week or two, and then school started. And I was in Chambliss dorm, and I made many friends. What I remember so well is how welcoming everybody was, and how much fun and laughter we had during the nights, and how so many of the families took this kid from Germany to Shelbyville for the weekend, to Memphis, to Murfreesboro. And I really immersed myself. Within weeks, it felt like I'd always lived in Tennessee. I took 5 classes, English, math, English with Charlotte Barr, math with Sandra Truitt, and frankly, it changed my life. I ended up studying mathematics in undergrad. So I want to tribute this award to Sandra Truitt, who's a fantastic teacher. I took chemistry with Bill Rice. I learned French with Maura Smith. And I did US history with Ralph Jones, who really made it a lot of fun all the time. And played on the tennis team. I did my declamation, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. It really gave me some confidence in speaking in front of such a big group. Senior survival with Brian Wofford, so much fun, rafting and going in to the Appalachian Mountains, getting my Bible on graduation, carving my name into the wooden board. This year changed my life. I ultimately ended up, because of this, going to Oxford, studying mathematics, going to Harvard Business School. I now run here in New York Blackstone's global private equity business as head of Blackstone Capital Partners, and I owe all of this to the Webb School. It is a very special place. It's a special place to educate your children. I have 4 young kids now, a 7-year-old, 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 6-month-old baby. But the year at Webb really, really changed my life. So thank you to the Webb School for all that you did during my time there, for all that I know you've done for the many alumni in the room now, for all that you're doing for the students there today. And sorry I cannot be there in person, but I'm honored to be accepting this award. Thank you very much.
Let's give another round of applause to Webb and Martin. And it's always, whenever you get a chance to honor people like that, it always like sizes yourself up and goes, man, I got a lot of work to do. So thank you for continuing to be an icon for Webb School, Webb. And Martin, we wish you could be here. Thank you also to my wife, Caroline, for your leadership of the Alumni Board. They wrote that for me. I didn't have to put that in. So, and at this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Parker to return to the stage, for we are going to recognize our 50th reunion class with their Golden Guard pins. You got those. Okay. We are delighted to celebrate and honor the class of 1976 with this special recognition. So if at this time, all members in attendance from the class of 1976, please come forward to receive your special Golden Guard pin recognizing your 50th Webb reunion. Wow, so special.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Congratulations. Yes. Congratulations. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Hey, Lynn, thanks, man. Congratulations. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to announce the winners of the awards commemorating this special reunion celebration. So, if I call your name or class, please come forward and receive your award. Okay, are you ready? So here we go. The Buford Gordon Oldest Alumnus or Alumna Award this year goes to Earl Hereford, class of 1960. Earl, are you here? Yes. Come forward. We've got this fantastic Webb tie for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir. Here, we'll just take a picture.
1, 2, 3.
All right. 1960. All right, so the Outstanding Traveler Award, and we all know how hard it is sometimes to get to Bell Buckle, Tennessee. You must have RSVP'd prior to today to receive this award. This year's winner traveled over 2,000 miles. 2,000 miles from Huntington Beach, California. So will Marcy Pham Beasley, class of 96, come up and be recognized? We've got fantastic way to drink water to celebrate the Webb School. Yes, thank you. Let's give her a round of applause. Marcy, if you would please move to Hawaii. That will allow my wife to check off the last thing on the list. Please and thank you. We will not be helping with expenses. The Class Attendance Award will the class of 1986 please come to the stage? Yes! Come on. We have these fantastic sunglasses that say Noli Re Subdole Facere. I know. And also, there's something a little ironic about putting do nothing on the sly on sunglasses, right? I've always felt that.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, here we go. Yes, sir. All right, here we go. Yes. Oh my God, there's so many of you. You keep coming.
In English, I didn't say glad.
We would also like to recognize the class with the highest giving percentage for the 25-26 fiscal year. And my wife and I have served for the last 2 years as the chairs of the Webb Fund. So we really thank you. And so everyone please give a hand to the class of 1961, highest giving percentage for the 25-26 fiscal year. Lastly, we would like to recognize our class agents. And if you serve as a class agent, please stand up to be recognized. Who are our class agents? All right. That is a thankless job, I will tell you, but it's an important job. All right, we thank you for your hard work, your dedication to your classmates and the Webb School. Your time, your love, and commitment never go unrecognized. All right, so we are closing out, and we are going to talk about what we're going to be doing next. We want to thank you all for being with us. Your presence is our present. No, that's stupid. Makes this weekend so meaningful. As you head into the afternoon, we encourage you to take part in the day's activities. There is a student-led campus tour that begins in 5 minutes, so run, followed by a chapel talk with Mr. L.R. Smith and a trapping session with Mr. Ralph Jones, I believe, in the chapel. The archives will be open as always, and then we have wine and pottery, which will begin at 2 o'clock. That is actually a lot of fun. We did that last year. I like throwing pottery anyway, but wine, it just adds to the whole thing. And a special addition to today's activities, our baseball team is playing in a district game here on campus beginning at 1 o'clock. So take your feet to see the feet. Before we wrap up, I also want to briefly mention an important part of weekends like this. Your continued support helps to ensure that future generations of Webb students have access to the same experiences that shaped us all. If you feel moved to give, you'll find QR codes on your tables, and more information about how your gifts make a difference will be available at the giving table. Yesterday I had the honor to speak to students in chapel. And my call to action centered around the idea that we all have the 3 T's. We have our time, we have our talent, and we have our treasure. If you are rich in time, please find a way to give back in that way to the Webb School. If you are rich in talent, if you know how to do something, or if you can offer a service, that is valuable to the Webb School. And if you are rich in treasure, well, congratulations. Give generously. Give generously to the Webb School. I promise you, it is going to continue the legacy that you remember, and thank you to Dr. Parker for ensuring that. All right, that's it. Thank you for being here today. Enjoy the rest of your day on campus and have a wonderful reunion weekend.